There you go, 10,000 views. Hi, my name's Bettina, and my last film finally reached 10,000 views. So, okay. That was really delayed. If you haven't seen it, the film is called Unprivileged: The Cost of Being Poor at an Elite Institution. It's about my experiences, my friends' experiences, and friends of friends of friends of friends' experiences as low-income and first-generation students at colleges in the Northeast mostly. This week, in honor of everyone who watched it, rewatched it, and shared it, I wanted to talk about a similar topic. So I went to social media to ask my friends what they wish they knew when they were undergrads, and based on their feedback, I compiled a few tips to help students who might be struggling to adjust to college life, because been there, done that. So here are 3 things that will help you, my fellow first-gen poor student, survive through college. Tip number 1. Don't be afraid to talk about your financial needs. This is probably the number 1 feedback that I got from people. My friend Amber said on Twitter, "I wish I'd known that I could probably get more money to help me with books and other things I couldn't afford if I just asked my financial aid office over and over again." And she's 1000% right. If your financial needs are not being met, let it be known. Talk to the financial aid office. I know it's scary, and tell them your situation. Are you supporting a family member and because of that you can't afford to buy your books for the semester? Tell them. They have to know so that they can at least brainstorm some ideas with you. They're not just going to be like, well, sorry, that's your problem. I hope not, at least. But in my experience, that's never been the case. Now, to be completely honest, I only really went to financial aid once. I was very lucky in that my scholarship covered for pretty much all of my expenses related to school. However, I still had a lot of personal financial needs that I had to take care of because I was, at the time, helping support my family. What I did in those moments when I needed a little bit extra cash and income flowing into my bank account, I reached out to a trusted professor or staff member and again just told them about my situation and what I needed. Because of these conversations, people were able to connect me with employment opportunities or scholarships or whatever that I didn't think of, to be honest with you. It's really important to let your needs be known so that people know exactly how to help you. Another thing I did was whenever I was invited to things like honor societies like Psi Chi for psychology or Phi Beta Kappa, I always reached out to the coordinator and asked if there was a way to either waive the fee or have a payment plan. I just explained to them again that number 1, I don't have a lot of money. Number 2, I was supporting my family. Number 3, I had honestly more urgent things to pay for. Now that might seem a little petty. I don't think it is. It's one of those things where you don't want to let an opportunity slip by because you don't have the money for it, when in reality it's not about the money, it's the fact that you worked really hard to be invited into those societies. It would be more petty if you somehow didn't have the ability to join because you just didn't have enough money at that moment. That's a stupid reason. I understand that these conversations are very, very difficult. Trust me, I had these conversations. They were awkward. I felt very ashamed. But the fact is, talking about your financial situation is not anything to be ashamed of. And whatever you get out of it, it's not charity. You deserve to be at that school. You deserve all the resources to help you succeed. By admitting the school agrees that you deserve to be there. You may not have given as much money to get into the school, but you paid with blood, sweat, and tears. That's worth something. Don't let money, or a lack of it, determine the education that you deserve to get. You're already here. Since you're already here, tip number 2, know and use your resources on campus. The one thing that I realized way too late in college was that the rich kids asked for help and the poor kids didn't. Which means that the rich kids got the help that they needed while the poor kids suffered silently. Honestly, it's mostly our fault. We're so used to being the ones to just figure things out by ourselves. If you're a first-gen student, for example, you probably had to figure out how to apply for colleges by yourself, like what the heck is a Common App, or you had to figure out what tests you have to take. Do you take the ACT or the SAT? And then it's also trying to find scholarships. And you did all this without your parents' help. Meanwhile, Johnny McMillionaire over here has 2 SAT tutors, and his guidance counselor is encouraging and walking him through his Harvard application, and he's a legacy. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that his dad is best buddies with the VP of admissions? I'm not saying all this to mock Johnny. What I'm really saying is that rich kids are used to having a network of people supporting and helping them. Poor kids do not. It's a mentality that we have to break, because you do have a network and you need to utilize that. Most schools are designed and used to students like Johnny. They will have the resources and accommodations available for students like him to succeed. And those same resources and accommodations will be available to you. If you're struggling with something, whether that's math, writing, your mental health, chances are a rich kid is having similar struggles. Keyword is similar, not the same. So the resources and accommodations might not be the best fit for you, but some help is better than no help. So make it a goal to find out what resources are available on your campus. And how do you do that? Just like the whole financial aid thing, let your needs be known. For example, if you're taking a Spanish class and you're having a hard time keeping up because all the other kids read Don Quixote in prep school and all you were taught in your janky high school trailer was Estoy en la biblioteca, ask your professor if there's tutoring available. A lot of times departments will have peer tutors where they will pay another student to help a fellow student get through the class. It's a fun fact, if you ask for a tutor, you might end up giving another poor student a job opportunity. Speaking of which, tip number 3, know that you are not alone and that you belong. That was the whole goal of my film, to show other students like myself that we are not alone. Talking about your unprivileges, as I call them, is difficult. There's a certain degree of shame when saying you're low income or your parents didn't go to college. But the thing is, those aren't things that you should be ashamed of. My friend Nicole on Facebook put it in words pretty well. She said, "You made it, and you don't have to burn yourself out trying to earn your place / deserve your scholarship. You are enough." And a special shout out to Nicole, because she was actually my QuestBridge mentor. QuestBridge pairs up new students with older students, and it was because of her that I started to really realize that I wasn't alone at Trinity when I was there, and that there were students like me who were going through the same thing, but who are supporting each other. Throughout your time in college, you are guaranteed to go through a lot of emotional and mental challenges. But what I need you to understand is that, number 1, whatever you're feeling, it's valid. Whether that's sadness, anger, loneliness. For me, I had a lot of guilt. Whatever it is, your feelings are valid. And number 2, you're not the only one feeling whatever it is that you are feeling. At times it can be very, very overwhelming, but if you need to take a break if you can. Another friend on Facebook, Jess, said she wishes that she knew that it's okay to take time between graduation and your first semester, or taking breaks in between semesters. It's your journey and no one else's, and those breaks can allow for a lot of different opportunities and learning experiences. Another sweet thing that she said was, "You deserve to be there as much as anyone else. You are thoroughly capable of acing classes and being in leadership or whatever you want. Put your mind to it and know that you are enough and deserving, and all your differences are your strengths and make you a valuable asset." And that is 100% true. Wherever you are in your college journey, you have already done so much to get here. Don't give up out of fear or sadness or loneliness. Use your best judgments, use your resources, and use your community. You have all 3 of those. You can do it, and I'm rooting for you. That's it for this video. That's 3 tips for surviving college as a first generation or poor student. I can go on and on and on and on about this, but then this video would be super long, and I know y'all wouldn't be watching all of it. So if there is a specific thing that you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments below so that I have a better direction of where to go next time. Until then, make sure to share this video with a friend, a family member, or even a stranger. That's totally fine. And let's get this video to 10,000 views as well. And lastly, if you enjoyed this video, again, make sure to like it, give a thumbs up, and You already know it. Subscribe. Thanks, and I will see you next time.